Welcome in to Clear Picture Financial. Your host is Jason Noble. You can find him at Prime Capital Investment Advisors. He's a fiduciary, holds his FINRA Series 66 securities registration, certified financial planner and retirement income certified professional with 18 years in the financial arena, helping his clients get ready for retirement. I'm Morgan Patrick, consumer advocate, and we talk the topics each and every week, but we also give you an opportunity to get on the calendar with Jason Noble. We'll tell you more about that as we move through the program. And again, those appointments are no cost, no obligation, and simply no pressure. You can always check out the website. It is a great resource, clearpicturefinancial.com. Well, welcome in, Jason. We all know that we have to save for retirement, but that's only half of the overall plan. The other half is about creating an income plan and knowing when and how to withdraw that money. So we've put together 4 distribution strategies that can be used at different times. You're going to walk us through it. So number 1, create a floor.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at retirement income planning, that could be 20, 30, 40 plus years, right? So this is so important. And creating that floor, some retirement accounts provide a guaranteed income. That includes like Social Security, pensions, and annuities. A flooring strategy involves building up enough guaranteed income to meet the basic needs. That can be done by passive income strategies, purchasing an annuity, or delaying the start of the Social Security benefits. For each year you delay the start of your benefits past your full retirement age until you reach the age 70, you get an 8% boost in that monthly Social Security payment. So important thing to consider is the flooring approach.
I'll tell you, folks, it's always about retirement. We get into the different topics. You're going to have questions about your own situation. And one of the cool outlets about this show is you can reach out and you can contact Prime Capital Investment Advisors, Jason Noble and his team, and have an opportunity to sit down, no cost, no obligation, no pressure, kind of see where you are and see what strategies you might want to use. So create a floor is 1. Let's go to number 2, and it's about the buckets. Now, I hear this term quite a bit. So let's get into bucket your money.
Yeah, so funds don't provide a guaranteed income such as 401ks and IRAs. A bucket strategy ensures some of your money is protected for short term while the other money is allowed to grow for long-term use. I like to use 3 buckets within this type of approach. You have the immediate income bucket, the income bucket, and then the growth bucket. So the first bucket is your immediate income bucket, which is typically 6 to 12 months of cash. And that's all dependent around your risk tolerance and any short-term goals that you may have.
Okay.
You may have this for emergencies or short-term spending needs, right, Morgan? Now, the second bucket is that income bucket, and that would be 3 to 5 years of expected expenses set aside to produce reoccurring income off the strategy. Once that bucket is filled, we then focus on the growth bucket for long-term investing, and that is to offset inflationary risk or healthcare expenses that come up later on in life. Now, the growth bucket replenishes the income bucket as that draws down, and the income bucket replenishes the immediate income bucket. But Morgan, I'm going to ask you, which bucket do you think gets a lot of attention and focus?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and put my money on income. I mean, it's got to be income, right?
Income bucket. We got to make sure we have that. It goes back to the flooring approach, right? But that income bucket gets a lot of attention. For instance, in a down market, if you have 5 years of income set aside into the income bucket, well, now you won't need to sell positions in the growth bucket to replenish that income, right? There's only been a 1 3-year period of time when the market went down in 3 consecutive years. Hence why we have about 5 years worth of income in that bucket. We can't wait it out and avoid selling the positions in the down market, allowing them to grow quicker when the market turns around. Does that make sense to like how I walk through the bucket strategy?
It does. It does. I mean, making sure you have all 3 and the plan. I mean, it's all within the plan. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. So we're talking strategies. We've already talked about creating a floor. We've gone into bucketing your money. Again, the 3 buckets. What about systematic withdrawals?
Yeah, with systematic withdrawal, some seniors treat their retirement account like a piggy bank, right? Withdrawing money whenever it's needed. Yeah. However, a smarter approach is to make systematic withdrawals the same amount for every month, and that's at the end of the month. That statistics help you as you are making these withdrawals at the end of the month is better than taking the same amount at the beginning of each month. Isn't that interesting with how the calculations work, Morgan, where you're taking the same amount, you're just doing it on the 24th of each month versus the 2nd of each month. The money will last longer by taking it out on the 24th.
I tell you, it's so important to have a plan, have these types of conversations. Again, opportunity to get on the calendar with Prime Capital Investment Advisors, the power behind Clear Picture Financial, the show you're listening to right now and watching with Jason Noble. Again, I'm Morgan Patrick, consumer advocate. We're getting into the different topics and going over strategies, distribution strategies. So create a floor. The bucket your strategy money, have those 3 buckets, make those systematic withdrawals and stay in that. And then here's number 4, use a blended distribution approach.
Morgan, I love that we're going to talk about this because I think it's so important. When it comes time to start taking those systematic withdrawals, people should be strategic about where they pull their money from. This is known as a blended distribution approach. The optimal order for withdrawing funds is the one that will minimize taxes. Now, many advisors will suggest taking money from a taxable brokerage account first when someone starts retirement, and then from a pre-tax account like a traditional IRA or 401ks, and then later in retirement to start withdrawals from the Roth. And they say, well, we want to do this so we can have the Roth continue to grow, and then down the road you could you could take the money out from the Roth and pay no taxes on that from the growth. And okay, the logic is not 100% flawed, but what's wrong with this though, and quite frankly, it's lazy. It's a lazy strat because it's so like we're just gonna do it this way so that I don't have to put any thought into it. Oh. Now, if you have assets, Morgan, right, and listeners in a pre-tax Roth and taxable accounts, consider taking money from each account and blending it to keep your taxes lower throughout retirement, causing less tax drag on your portfolio, especially in the early stages of retirement. Morgan, do you mind if I share an example or story of how I did this with a couple?
Yeah, would love to hear it. Would love to hear it.
Let's jump into the blended. Okay. So this couple, they need $80,000 a year to live off of comfortably to do the things they want to do in retirement. Well, they have about $40,000 a year coming in from Social Security. So that's their floor is $40,000, right? So we have that coming in. They had no other guaranteed income sources. So that means we got to withdraw $40,000 a year from their taxable account, their Roth, and their traditional IRA. Their existing advisor was making withdrawals that were coming out of the 401k. Mm-hmm. That was creating a lot of tax burden on for this couple. Instead, what I did was go, okay, let's take out about $27,000 from the IRA. Now, the reason why I said $27,000 is because that's the standard deduction. So we could take that money out of the IRA, pay no taxes at the federal or state level because we got that written off on the standard deduction side. The rest of the withdrawal came from the Roth and a little bit came in from the taxable account. So now here they are making $80,000 a year, paying very little to no federal and state income taxes. The first time I presented this to this couple, they go, I got 2 questions. One, is this legal? I love that question. Right. Of course it's legal. Yes. Of course. Yes. I do everything in the light. Everything is not I don't ever go in the gray. It's going to be in the light. You're not lurking in the corner there. No. But the second thing is, why did my accountant not tell me this? So I go, that's a good question. I will work with your accountant if you decide to move forward with our services and make sure we're looking at this from all the different angles. Now, what I realized with their accountant, like many accountants, and I'm not trying to give accountants a bad name. I work with amazing accountants here in not just here in Charleston, but throughout the country. But what this accountant was doing was checking the box of what they were given. Right. When I met with the accountant and talked through this strategy using a blended distribution strategy combined with the flooring, right? Combined with the systematic withdrawals, they saw the light and they go, you know what? I have 7 other people that you should talk to that need to do something similar.
Yeah, you gave them a map. I mean, you're giving them instructions on how to go. Yes.
It's those puzzle pieces that we talk about, Morgan, putting it all together, making sure it's connected. And that's what I do through clear picture analysis and the process that we use here, not with just some of the people we talk to. It's with every single person we meet. We have these kind of dialogues and conversations. And this is so important to have as you go into retirement, having a strategy and a plan in place to navigate all the complexities that are involved in retirement income planning.
Well, I mean, you bring it up. I mean, it is complex, and it's not like you're trying to fit them into the same strategy. It depends on the individual or the couple that is retiring. That's what is so important and crucial when it comes to your retirement. I mean, you need to have that custom plan. Well, we've got an opportunity now, and we've got spots on the calendar. We have 10 total for the upcoming week. They go very, very fast, but let's talk about what's going to happen for these 10 appointments. We want to stress that this is no cost, no obligation, no pressure. This is to kind of see where you are in your process. And if you need to pivot, you pivot. If you haven't started, you start. But we have 10 of them. What's going to happen for these 10 callers?
Yes, Morgan. Happy holidays, listeners. And for the next 10 callers, we're going to custom design a clear picture analysis financial review. And that will indicate if you're in need of a full-blown wealth analysis and plan. We're going to refresh your financial plan, especially with all the changes that we've been seeing over the course of this year. And we look at a risk-first approach to help protect the money and optimize the overall portfolio. We provide tax optimization. See if there's any way we could put more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. And we're always going to evaluate the estate plan. Listeners, we want to put a peace of mind in your retirement plan for the rest of your life, providing a clear picture of your financial future. This will be complimentary for the next 10 callers, Morgan, but how can they reach out to schedule these conversations?
I've got a phone number. I'm going to give it now, 800-948-1216. Again, the number, 800-948-1216, or you can text NOBLE, I like that, NOBLE, again, to 600-700. So the number is 800-948-1216, or you can text NOBLE to 600-700. We've been talking about creating a floor, bucket strategies, systematic withdrawals, blended distribution approaches. There are a lot of things in here, folks. Come in, talk about your situation. 800-948-1216, or text NOBLE to 600-700. Well, when we come back, folks, it is all about retirement. On today's show, growing number of people that are still working in their 70s. We'll get into it coming up next.